Yeah, yeah, oh yeah. We're being written now. There'll be 3 or 4 different players coming in to investigate. One of which will be the engineers arriving back to find that planet decimated. Because I think those ships come and go on regular intervals. I see them as the gardeners of space.
Now, I think the 3 to 4 players are definitely Wayland Corp because they want to find out what happened to Prometheus on LV-223. And also, I'm sure David communicated with them, let them know where he is. So there's that. The humanoid engineers, definitely. I'm sure not all of them were on that planet. They were some were off world, and of course, a 10-year gap without any communication from the planet is suspect. So of course, they're going to come to investigate. That only makes sense. And of course, Ridley Scott said that they come through in constant intervals. So yeah, they're definitely going to investigate, and possibly the biomechanical engineers come to investigate as well. So that's 3 so far. And then the fourth, I would say, is Utani, because Wayland Utani is not uh, together yet until 2099. So between 2094 and 2099, that's probably when they come to investigate. And then you have your 4 players. Now, if you look at the Paradise Lost Alien Covenant poster, you'll see that that has nothing to do with Alien Covenant because we didn't see anything of that sort in that movie. So it's really a setup for the next movie, which is fascinating. So he gave us a poster for the next movie. for but he set it up at Alien Covenant. That's I think that's very interesting. And also the crossing, I would say that's the same thing because that's in the next movie. You would see something like that in the next movie. So, but I'm sure they're not going to show the crossing. It's just a lead up to where uh, the next movie of before Alien Covenant. Now, that is fascinating. Also, what's interesting is that in the Alien Covenant novelization, they talk about how there are various types of xenomorphs in David's lab, because when Orm confronts David and he's looking through his lab, they mention that there are these black steel creatures, that look different, like have various sizes or shapes and stuff like that. So that would make sense because we know that those xenomorphs come from facehuggers, and we know that there's eggs on the planet. So if a biomechanical engineer gets facehugged, obviously a different xenomorph is going to come out. If a humanoid engineer gets facehugged, a different xenomorph is going to come out, and of course a human gets facehugged. Of course, a different xenomorph is going to come out. So that explains that. That's very interesting. So, Alien Awakening, Alien Origins, whatever really wants to call it, this is the third movie of the first trilogy because he wants to make another trilogy that eventually leads into Alien. So, this is the end of the first trilogy. And the thing is that I don't believe that Orgai 6 is going to be in this movie because Orgai 6 is going to be the beginning of the next trilogy. It's going to be the start of the next trilogy. So this one it deals with Paradise and the engineers, and I think that's what we want. We want to know more about the engineers, what they're all about, their city, about them. We want to know more, and what happened with between David and Shaw. We want to know that. So that should be an interesting movie, and also. If you look through David's lab, he has various like creatures in his lab, so and also bugs which we don't see in Alien Covenant. Like there's species that died out. So there should be a lot of interesting creatures that they could create in the next movie. So it'd be a lot more scarier probably and a lot more gruesome because there's various kinds of creatures that they could make in that movie because there's concept art for that, and they didn't use it obviously in Alien Covenant, so it's going to be interesting to see. I hope they, uh, I hope they show it. It's going to be a lot more gruesome if they do it properly.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah. We're being written now. There'll be 3 or 4 different players coming in to investigate. One of which will be the engineers arriving back to find that planet decimated. Because I think those ships come and go on regular intervals. I see them as the gardeners of space.